Bronx native and storyboard artist David Rodriguez has been known for his artwork as an animator, a field that he is very passionate about ever since he was a child, and is something he takes very seriously. He was nice enough to talk to us about his time as an animator.
I've been a storyboard artist for about 12 years now. In the animation field that I'm in, storyboarding is very pivotal in what we do. I mean, we basically create the episode for the animators. I just enjoy creating, and basically we're almost like directors in a sense. We're visualizing for the director, and then we work with him as we go along. My very first show that I worked on was MTV's Daria. That was my first, and from there I worked on Celebrity Deathmatch. I worked on Kids Next Door. I worked on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Ultimate Spider-Man, just to name a few.
When I met David, I met him at least back in 1991. And at that time, he was in high school. He didn't start doing animation until years later. So, like, more or less, probably his first work, he did stuff for MTV. And it was good. I mean, you know, he showed me a few storyboards, you know, for the Ninja Turtles and things like that.
I got into MTV as a layout artist in my last year of SVA. I submitted a portfolio, went to an interview, and they liked my stuff, and I got the job as a layout artist for the first season. Then I got into storyboard right after. In my mind, when I was a kid, I thought I was going to become a comic book artist. That was what I was going for. And then when I went to high school, I took architectural drafting. And then once I got to School of Visual Arts, I decided I want to go back to doing comics, and by the end of the comic run, I got into animation. So I don't know how that happened, but it did.
When asked, Mr. Rodriguez said that he thought that he would never be doing animations for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a series that is still popular today amongst children and adults since the 1980s.
No, actually I didn't. I was a big fan of it when I was young. When they had the first animated series, I used to be there, sitting down watching it on television, and then years later, here I am working on the reboot animated series. So that was great. The way I storyboarded for Ninja Turtles is much different from the way I storyboard now. I mean, just technical wise, like when we were storyboarding for Ninja Turtles, basically it was just a 3-panel page, about 11 by 14 pieces of paper, and we used to just do it panel by panel. Now, everything's digital. The storyboards are done digitally. We use something called Toon Boom Storyboard Pro, and basically it allows us to storyboard and also see a rough cut animation of what we're seeing. So this way we see that it's flowing correctly before we give it out to the animators. They usually give us about three weeks to do a storyboard, and then maybe a week of revision. So what I gave you was probably maybe like a few days worth of work. We do the storyboard, they send it to another company, an animation company in Korea. They animate it, and then we get usually a rough cut and then a final.
He does, not necessarily, I wouldn't say he was the sketch guy. You know, I mean, he has the ability to do it. But I, more or less, like if I needed somebody to do storyboard work for me, he'd be the guy to go to.